Welcome back to another episode of Dice City Picks. I'm your host, Tony Parlay. We've got 3 games to go ahead and break down again. Spread, money line, total. Go ahead and keep it steady for you guys. You know the drill. Go ahead and hit that subscribe button. You don't want to miss any of my picks on this betting journey. Let's go ahead and we've got the last NBA games before the NBA All-Star break. That may come into play on some of these bets. Let's go ahead and take a look. Little quick recap from last night. Went 1-2. Hawks and Knicks went into overtime. I think double overtime. That was a good one. Hawks covered the spread. Warriors did go ahead and lose to the Mavs, and I don't believe that the Suns and Rockets total. That one hurt me. 1-2. Bouncing back. We've got 3 more plays today. What I do want to go ahead and start out with is Warriors and Rockets. This is going to be a good one. This is probably going to be the best game on the slate. It looks like this will be the 4th time this season they're meeting. The last one was a 91-90 win for the Rockets in the NBA Cup. That was an exciting finish. Warriors coming off that tough loss to the Mavs. That one hurt me, 111-107. Rockets coming off of a win over the Suns, 119-111. Clearly didn't happen with the total. Let's take a look at what the books are saying here, the spreads and the public. Spread opened up at Rockets -1.5. Pretty much stayed around there. Some books you can get -2. It's -1.5 over here at BetMGM. Looks like we've got the public all over the Warriors here. 80% of the public money is on the spread, taking that 1.5, 2 points depending on the sports book. And 75% of people are on the money line. I'm looking at this right now. I really was surprised. I mean, Kyrie Irving had 40 yesterday. It was a ridiculous performance. There's still a little bit of some, let's like, speed bumps to work out with that offense with Jimmy Butler. It's a crucial late turnover for him that hurt that Warriors team. But I do like them in this matchup, man. That Rockets team, you know, they're coming back. They've won some games. They're playing better of late. Let's go ahead and see. Maybe there's some injuries here to go ahead and take into account. I didn't see anything earlier. Did go ahead and take a little bit of a peek. I'm looking at it right now. Injuries. Nothing so far from injuries. I'm thinking they're going to go ahead and go all out. I mean, it's the last game for the All-Star break. And man, I hate it. I hate being on the public side on this. Looks like the Warriors are actually even money on the money line. Plus 1.5 at -110. Total 224.5 right up there. 224, 225, depending on where you got it. This is a good one here. This is a good one. The public's all over the Warriors. I mean, that makes sense. I thought they were going to beat the Mavs yesterday. I think I'm actually going to go ahead and, this is my Joe Public bet. Just like yesterday, man. This is going to be my Joe Public bet. I'm going to go ahead and hang out with I think the Warriors need this win more. Warriors are trying to get into that playoff race. Looks like 27-27. Rockets 34-20. Warriors need these wins. They're going to add up at the end of the year. Maybe they're in the play-in right now, but they would need to be in the playoffs. That team, that roster, it's pretty well built. I love what the Rockets have done this season. I think Ime Udoka has coached that team up tremendously. They haven't even used their lottery pick Reed Shepherd too much, and Jabari Smith is still injured. It's a very good team. Don't like this spot for them. I know they're at home. I know that the public's all over the Warriors. Ooh, this one hurts. That's going to be it. It's going to be you know what? Let's go ahead and let this cover myself. This is going to be my spread play. Give me a 1.5 with the Warriors at -110 odds. They lose, it's going to be a close one. They win, I'm even. I'm pretty solid there. I'm going to ignore the even money. Go ahead and give me the spread play. Warriors plus 1.5 points. That's going to be our first play. Next game is going to be the Heat and the Mavs. Told you we were going to go ahead and talk about the Mavs yesterday. This is a little preview. Didn't know that they were going to make me look foolish and beat the Warriors. That was a super impressive win. Kudos to you, Clay. I know that one meant a lot to you. Kyrie Irving, like I said, had 40 in that one. Let's take a look at this Heat-Mavs matchup. We know about the Mavs coming off that win. They won despite missing Anthony Davis, Daniel Gafford, and P.J. Washington. Let's talk about the Heat end of things. Heat have lost 3 in a row. Last 2 have come to the Thunder and the Celtics. Little caveat there. They actually were able to go ahead and play their players they got from the Jimmy Butler trade yesterday. Looked like they had Andrew Wiggins out there. They had some players making some moves. Trying to see how much that matters. Davion Mitchell, I really thought played pretty good for the Heat. I think that's going to be a good fit there. Heat and Mavs. Heat won the first matchup this season. One of my notes say here, I'm taking a look. It looks like, what was that, 123 to 111? 123, 118, my mistake. The Heat opened up -1.5 on the spread. It stayed around that number. It looks like you can get -2 and +2 some books. Most people are taking the Mavs and the points at home. I don't know why. I guess I don't see it with this Mavs team. I'm just clueless here. 64% of people backing the Mavs on the money line. Heat opened up at -126. It's been bet down to -120. Looks like we got a total of 216.5. Maybe a little bit of a lower scoring game. Defense comes into play. -1.5 +1.5. Heat -120. I don't get it, man. I don't get it. I'm going to confess to you guys, I don't understand that Mavericks team. I doubt they're able to play some of those players. They sat them yesterday. Why would they play today? The last game before the All-Star break, Heat have lost 3 in a row. The Heat need this way more than the Mavericks. The Heat, let me go ahead and take a look. Heat 25-27, Mavs 29-26. The Heat, this is it, man. This is going to be their run to the playoffs there. They got rid of Jimmy. Now they shouldn't have any problems in that locker room. Heat -120. I'm missing something. I'll take them. Give me that. Give me the Heat. There's our money line play. Heat -120 is the money line play. We've got one last play to go ahead and get to. It's going to be regarding the total. We got to see if we can bounce back. Let's get rid of those 1 and 2 vibes. We're getting 2 and 1, 3 and 0 on this slate. I can feel it. Pulling my notes up. Let me go ahead and scroll down a little bit for you guys. We've got the OKC Thunder 44-9 headed to the Minnesota Timberwolves. I don't know how OKC beat the Heat yesterday. That one hurt me inside. They were down big. They were down 10 going into the fourth quarter. Still came back and won. The Thunder beat the Heat 115 to 101. They've won 7 in a row. T-Wolves coming into this one off of that tough loss to the Bucks, 103 to 101. Let's see what the odds makers. Thunder on the road, favored by 8.5 points. Total 225.5. Money line -375 for the Thunder. Gave you my spread pick already with the Warriors and our money line pick with the Heat. So you know we're eyeing the total here. 225.5. My lord, the public loves the over. I've got 93% of people betting the over. No, my mistake. I read that wrong. 90% of people betting the over. Public is all over the under. All over the over. 90%. That just seems ludicrous. Pulling this up, looks like this is the second meeting of the season between these two. The Thunder won the first meeting 113 to 105. Both these teams are typically over teams, man. I can understand their high-scoring offenses. They put a lot of points on the board, but 90%, once you start getting north of 90%, that's time where you got to be like, I think it might be time to look on the other side. Should we go ahead and fade the public? The under it's just a little bit. I'm looking at it here. It's 225.5 at -115 odds. I don't understand this one either. I feel like this is the last game before the All-Star break. This is the second game of a back-to-back for both of these teams as well. Looks like some tired legs could come into play. I don't know how engaged both these teams are. The Thunder are 44-9. They're far ahead in first place in the West. Timberwolves 30-25. They're in the mix. I don't know how much Anthony Edwards has in the tank. Maybe he's just going to rest a little bit. I don't know how much that whole team has in the tank. Like I said, second game of a back-to-back for both of these teams. Thunder are on the road. I don't know, man. I'm going to go ahead and have to zag while everyone zigs. I'm going to go ahead and take the under in this one. Under 225.5 points at -115 odds. That's going to be our final play. That's going to be our total. Let's go ahead and give you guys the full recap so you can have the winning picks. Starting off with Warriors and Rockets. Warriors at Houston. We're actually going to go ahead and take Warriors on the spread, getting 1.5. Plus 1.5. Looks like that's -110 up there. Correct. And then we've got the Miami Heat going to Dallas to play the Mavericks. Everyone's backing the Mavericks. Tony still doesn't understand why everyone's giving the Mavericks public love. I don't want no part of that. Give me the sharp play. Give me the Heat on the road. Give me the Heat as a money line play, -120. Last but not least, we're going to Minnesota to go ahead and break down Thunder and T-Wolves. OKC coming off that incredible comeback win over the Heat. Timberwolves coming off that tough loss to the Bucks. We're going to go ahead, and this is another one. Public loves the over. 90% of people betting the over, expecting points. We're zagging where everyone zigs. Give me the under in that one. Under 225.5 points. -115 odds. That's going to be your final play. let's go ahead. Let's cash some of these NBA bets. These are the last games before the All-Star break. We need some W's. This one feels like a 2-1, 3-0 slate. You guys know what you need. Go ahead and click on the banner. Let's make some money, and let's make it a profitable night.